Yeah, episode 176. Welcome. Look, there's a little fire to make Stevie look even witchier. Welcome. Here we are. What are we drinking? Well, I've been in Nashville, so I have chicken scratch. There's giant billboards for this if you come to Nashville. It's Little Harpeth Brewery, and it's worth it.
So good.
Yeah, you can't. It's not a session beer. You can't have 6 in a boat.
No.
Well, you shouldn't have 6 in a boat if you're not. Well, you can't be driving the boat.
It's a bad PSA.
Yeah, it's bad. Not so. But if you were to have 6 beers in a boat, if you were, it's delicious. But you probably only want like 2, because it kind of tastes like it's got a lot of butter in it. But if you see one, grab one. If you're a beer person, delicious.
Nice.
What are we eating? Because last week I forgot. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna settle an argument.
Okay.
So there's these really cool. I don't know if you call it gas stations or. Up in Maine, sometimes they have live music. I don't know what to call it. You go in there, there's...
Northeast.
Yeah, they're in the Northeast. Hannaford, the one in Maine, though, I went in, had a musician, like someone playing a guitar. It was really crazy.
Connecticut.
Yeah. Well, they make their own Cheez-Its, kind of. And this is from Aiden in Maine. He wants to know if I like these better because his wife likes Cheez-Its better. Here we go. These are white cheddar, though. I don't know if that's a fair comparison.
Fancy.
Oh. Too much for me, Aiden. I'm with your wife. Well, it settles down after a minute.
Uh-huh. The cheddar settles.
I wonder if this is how rich people feel about caviar, and I'm doing it with Cheez-Its. Well, it settles down. Give it a minute. It does settle down. It hits you pretty hard out of the gate. No.
No?
They're fine.
Yeah?
Yeah. I like them, but I'd rather have a real Cheez-It.
Do they pair well with beer?
They will pair well with beer, because it sort of tastes like a little bit of a pretzel, too.
Nice.
Yeah. Then this made me laugh. In Detroit, I didn't have time to do this. Stephanie Allison brought this licorice, and they said it's made by old-time Italian mobsters. I don't really understand.
What?
I don't know. It says old-fashioned red licorice made special since 1930. I do like red. I hate black, for the record. Termites don't ever say.
It's aggressive, buddy.
Well, I try to avoid where I have crowns with licorice.
Yeah.
Trying to bite in one spot. It's all right.
Sweet.
No,
Yeah?
it's good.
Okay.
I only like the one the best, but I can't think of the name of it. Twizzlers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the one in Walgreens. That one. This one's good. They gave it a good run.
good?
It's somewhere between old school and new school.
Okay.
So that's my review.
Cool.
All right. Next, before we get to Queen and King news, a lot of Queen news. A lot of Queen news.
Nice.
This is Smoki Serbian baked peanuts. Who knew the Serbs were doing this?
Wow.
All right.
Nice.
This is from, hold on, Termite Jamie. Let's see.
Okay.
It doesn't look like a peanut. It looks like a Cheeto.
Yeah.
No, like a cheese puff.
Cheese puff.
Wow.
Surprisingly delicious.
They're really good.
Really?
Wow. Now I'm going to be searching for these on the internet. Now this is going to consume my afternoon. How do I get Smoki original fresh baked peanuts? This is not a peanut, though.
It's a puffed peanut.
It's a puff. It's a peanut puff. They're really good, though.
Good.
Well done, Jamie. Last one. Check these off as I do them, or I'll forget. Oh, yeah, okay. One more, then we're moving on. Picard's ranch potato chip covered peanuts. God, the children will put ranch on anything.
They will.
I saw a recipe on Instagram of this chicken shit you make in a crock pot, and then you just dump ranch on it. And then you leave it in there. And apparently the ranch, you put some other stuff. I don't know. I'm totally going to do it. I can do anything in a crock pot.
You can.
I can. Wingding ranch and sriracha flavored.
Peanuts.
Too confusing.
Yeah.
When you have the palate of a 9-year-old, I can't have all this going on. No.
Who are they from?
They are from, they're from a Canadian, what would I call a Canadian termite? A Canadite. No. I don't know. I'll have to think of it.
We'll let them do it.
Canadian termites. Anyway, it's from
A Canarmite.
Kitchener and Water. They're from Kendra and Sarah
Nice.
from Waterloo, Ontario. From Kitchener. I don't know. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd eat them at a ball game. You know,
Specifically.
yeah. This be if you could get a bag of these, you'd be good for the game.
Okay.
Some beers, and this goes really great with beer. Well done.
And your 9-year-old palate.
Yeah. All right. That. And then I forgot who sent me this. I'll do it at the end if I have it. I don't remember, but it's Mr. Bill from Saturday Night Live. Oh no. It still makes me laugh. It's been what, 150 years since that was on? Still makes me laugh. Good for them. All right, moving on. Termites. So, well, I'm going to do the upcoming shows because I think it's better if I do those at the top. And then I got some thank yous for stuff in the post office box. And I was in a lot of trouble because I haven't been there in a while. I had to take a little shit for that. But
got fined.
I did it. I got a fine. I know. A fucking fine. Really?
Yeah, you did.
Really?
$14.
$14?
Pick up your
Well, they do send messages. It's like Walgreens stalking me. We have your medicine ready. Get here within an hour. We're throwing this shit back. All right, don't threaten. Don't threaten. I'm coming, Walgreens. I do like the texting though. So we're just moving on then. Oh no, but the shows. I'm gonna do the shows. Here's where we're going. That peanut got me. Sorry. June 8th, West Hampton, New York.
Nice.
June 16th, Charlestown. You know what I want to do before I go to West Hampton? I can't even believe this is possible. Okay. Jessica Lange is in a play in New York. I don't go to plays, and I definitely don't go to musicals. Unless my friend Mark Lynn Baker is in them, I will go to support it. Yep. But I drew the line at Music Man. I'm like, Mark, I love you. Mark is Lewis's friend, and Mark Lynn Baker, if you remember, was Perfect Strangers. That's where Sparky Marky got famous off that. But he's a wonderful actor. He's been in a million movies, and he was in My Favorite Year. I only know 2 actors in my whole life. Amy Aquino, who, by the way, one of her neighbors sent me a very funny... Apparently, Amy's talking to them about plastics, too. And but the lady likes the advice, so it's fine. But I'm never home. Right. Amy will come to this house and like she reset my dishwasher, and the dishes aren't clean. I mean, I don't know how much water we're saving or whatever. And then the dryer, she reset that, and like the clothes aren't fucking dry, Amy. I'm never here. I'm not abusing water. If I'm a problem, you have to call Marriott and talk to my gay grandparents. Because they're the ones that I'm using their water, their everything. I am not. Amy has very good solutions, though. And she's right about everything. It's just...
Too late for us.
Well, it's too late for this lady. Yeah. Anyway, so I only know 2 actors, Amy and Mark. And Mark, Lou's like, well, don't you want to go? He was in Music Man with Hugh Jackman. And I said, Louis, I'm going to tell you this one more time. You call me when Jaws is a musical. Then I'm coming. Maybe Scarface the musical. I mean, it had to be something I was interested in to begin with. But I've seen Mark in a lot. He's always great. And he will admit that he had a man crush on Hugh Jackman. Yeah, and then he got divorced like 6 months later. I sent Sparky Marky a text. I said, now's your chance. But Mark's not even gay. I'm like, I don't know how you overcome that. But he's available. But anyway... I went to one play in my life because Sally Field was in it, and it was the man who wrote Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, so I thought the play would be great. I couldn't believe I could see Sally Field live in person. Like, she's a movie star to me. I couldn't believe she was going to come out on the stage for an hour and a half, and she did. The play was ridiculous. I cannot believe the same man who wrote Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, which I think is the best writing that's ever been done, ever, on anything, ever. This play was called The Goat, and it was how her husband fell in love with the goat. I'm like, oh, I can't buy this premise. This is fucking crazy. No. And it went on for, I'm like, I know people have sex with goats, but falling in love is different. Right. You don't tell me you fell in love with it. Just say, I got weird and had sex with the goat in the back. Okay, that's really weird. I don't know how to deal with that, but don't tell me you're in love. Anyway, the play was stupid.
Maybe it's a pretty goat.
Well, I love all goats, but I don't fall in love with the goat. No. I really love goats in pajamas. I follow every single account on Instagram. And then my friends Amy and Andrew have goats. And then my friend Emily at the UPS thing, who's always tired of seeing my ass, she has a baby goat that wears pajamas. There's a lot of people in Nashville that have goats, many more than in LA. I'm sure. And I can also count in Nashville on any guy that comes over to work at this house. At some point, he will tell me he lived off the grid. Right. They've all done it. They love it. They can't wait to get back to living off the grid. But
150 watts.
Yep, 150 watt. There's no need for all that. I'm like, yeah, but your blow dryer doesn't work. You do need the 220. I know you think you can live.
Stuff.
Anyway, Jessica Lange is in a play in New York, and I love, love, love Jessica Lange. So I would like to do that before I go out to the Hamptons, darling, to do my little show. But I have to see if I can do that. June 16th, Charlestown, West Virginia. June 29th, Portland, Maine. Yay, yay. I might go see my friend Peter Costas before that and his wife Sandy, because they're up in Maine. Yeah, he's a Maine guy. If you guys know golf, Peter Costas, CBS, the announcer for Forever and Ever.
Yeah.
I think he's the only person I know that I've ever heard of being great at golf, and you're from Maine.
Yeah.
That is very difficult.
It's like Canadian.
And really, he was a football player. A lot of people probably don't know that. Yeah, he hurt his knee. Anyway, July 26th, San Antonio. Rosario's. I can't wait. There's no really not great Mexican food in Nashville. There's probably a couple spots that they'll brag about, but not really.
No.
Not like Texas.
Yeah.
July 27th, Austin, Texas. Hello, Mezzo Rancho. Margatinis. And yes, I also have shows. I'm just telling you where I'm going to go eat.
Right.
Yeah. And maybe tater salad. Mr. Ron will be home. I don't know. August 2nd, Marietta, Ohio. August 3rd, Cincinnati, Ohio. Time for a little Skyline chili. That's how I feel about Skyline chili. They brag about it. They love it. I do like it. I like it. Their chili mac and stuff.
It's got a weird spice.
It's got cumin in it.
Oh, is that it?
That's the red flag warning. Yep. A lot of people, it's an acquired taste. August 10th, Niagara Falls, Ontario. Boom. I'll be down drinking beers by the waterfall. August 24th, Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. I did it last time. It's one of the craziest venues. One of the best club. It's like a giant club.
It's super cool.
And everybody that ever performed there, it's crazy seeing the shit on the walls. I took a video last time. August 30th and 31st, the Venetian. That's Labor Day weekend.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
September 6th, Terrytown.
Not so hot either.
September 7th, Wilmington, Delaware. That's always a good gig. They're always very, very nice there.
Yeah.
There's an old Southern lady that's in charge of the meet and greet. I don't do meet and greets, for the record. People always ask. I don't do it. I don't feel comfortable charging people to meet me. I like to view myself as a leprechaun. I'm out in your town. If you know what I do and what I think, you will find me. I am findable. I will take selfies or whatever you want. Sit down, have a beer. It happens all the time. But I don't. But their meet and greets are for their
Donors.
donor people, yeah. And they're always fast, and they're super nice. So moving into King and Queen news.
Nice.
Just posted a video. I did the viral walk for my friend Bert Kreischer and his wife Leanne and Tom Segura. 2 bears, 5K walk. Already did it this morning.
Nice.
Jelly roll. I did it virtually in Nashville. I did it alone. Nothing happened except I saw 2 snakes. The snakes are out, people. The snakes are out. But Jelly Roll is doing it in L.A., so good for him because he's losing weight and he's doing all kinds of walking. And I guess, he knows Bert. Well, they all know everybody. So
Bunny's doing it too.
who?
Bunny, his wife.
Oh, Bunny's doing
Yeah.
it? She should bunny hop.
Yeah.
Do the whole thing. She should bunny hop. She should hop the whole way. That'd be fucking hilarious. Queen news.
You gotta do it.
Gotta start with Tanya.
Do it.
Oh my God. So my friend Delaney got me a VIP pass, but it didn't really, that was great, but the action, so I go down there. I'd already saw on Instagram, she already walked in the bar, pulled up in a convertible, got out with her dog. She has a bulldog. So all these people were lined up and down Broadway, and I'm like, why? What are they waiting for? She's already in the building.
Right.
She's in the bar, Nudies, which is one of my favorites. It gets overlooked because it doesn't have Garth's name or whatever.
It's next to Garth.
But I don't think she would care if I said it. I'm friends with Hillary Williams, Hank Williams Jr.'s daughter, and I hadn't seen her in forever, and I walked in the bar, and there she was. But I also noticed behind her, I said, Hillary, is it ever weird that, like, right now you're sitting below your grandfather's suit that's in a glass case? Like, there's this big Hank Williams Sr., it's his clothes. And she's like, it's weird. It's always weird. But they're all so nice, and they're all so normal, and they have jobs, and they don't, it's just, and I go, did your dad just open a bar 2 doors out? She's like, he did, but it's hard to get him down here anymore. He just thinks it's too crowded. I said, I agree. He needs to come day drinking in the day. Come in the day. That's when as soon as I see somebody under the age of 40, I leave.
Yeah.
I'm done with downtown. If that's 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I don't care. I'm out. It's so much, I don't know, in the day. But anyway, all these people are lined up on Broadway, and I don't know what they're waiting for.
Broadway's the main street.
It's the main street in Nashville where all the honky tonks. It's always the scene you see in, the rest of downtown looks like a normal downtown, just for the record. I think people think it's all like that. It's sort of like New Orleans. You have the French Quarter, and then the rest of it's just normal buildings. And I wish the whole thing was like that, but time took over. And somebody goes, no, she's going to ride her horse in. And I'm like, nah, because she has horses. I know she does, and she's into it. Well, sure as shit. There she was at the top of the street, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I kind of know all this is happening, but imagine you're just a couple in your 50s from Indiana and you go day drinking and you're kind of half shit-faced, and then you walk out of the bar to go to the next bar and you're like, is that a horse? And then you're like, wait, is that Tanya Tucker on the horse? Yes, she rode it all the way down. It was epic. And the horse was magnificent. It was like a Clydesdale if it was all black. It had all the fur on its feet. I don't know what kind of horse it is, but
Magical.
a very, very tall horse too. Like she's way too short for all that. Like you need people to throw you up, like riders up, and just throw Tanya and hope she doesn't break a hip. And then she passed the bar up. She forgot to stop at the bar where she has a bar on the second floor. She brought the horse back around. She came in, went right up to the stage, and if you go look on my Instagram, the videos, there's a very small stage. It is a true honky tonk. Message to Garth Brooks. Message to Garth. Garth has a lot more space to deal with. I get it. But Nudies, that is how you're going to feel like a real old hunk. And she got right up on stage, sang 3 songs, sounded great. Then this other man came up, and I'm like, he was like a country Tom Jones. I know he was older. I get it. But I'm like, I kind of have a crush on this guy. he sang so good. Graham Brown. They sang that song, Don't Go Out With Him. It's an old country song, but he was great. And then Tanya goes, I'm going to the bar. Presley, you do it. Well, she has a daughter who looks exactly like her and sounds just as good. Yep. And I thought, damn, I wish I had a kid that could do my act. And I'd go, I'm out of here for 25 minutes. You tell the jokes. And she went to the bar and bartended and passed out tequila shots. Mm-hmm. And then after all that, it was on and off for like an hour. The place was packed in a fun way. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I saw my flight attendant friend, the one who gave me the screwdrivers, Laura, and her friend. They walked by, and I'm like, I know those people. But for a minute, I couldn't. And then I'm like, oh, my God, it's my Delta crew. Yeah, so I went and found them. And they're like, we only came down here because you said this was happening. I go, oh, it's fucking happening. It's crazy town. It was so much fun. And then I went up to you could go upstairs with your little VIP deal. But I mean, I think everybody in the room had one. That's the great thing about Nashville. It's never really exclusive. All you got to do is call somebody, and you'll know somebody who knows somebody, and it's fine. Nobody gives a shit. And I walked up the steps, and this younger man was like, I'm a big fan. I go, thanks, man. But there were all these tall people like pushing me up the stairs. So when I got back up there, I go, hey, I didn't mean to blow you off. I just felt like the heat coming from the big people. I was being trampled going upstairs. I'm like, who gets trampled going upstairs? You get trampled going downstairs, not up. But I just felt like there were these giant people behind me. And he goes, oh, no, that's okay. Well, it turned out to be her son, Grayson. And he was so cute. And I go, you were adorable as a 12-year-old in the reality show. He's like, oh, you did not watch that. I go, oh, I watched it when it happened, and then I watched it again on YouTube. And I think it's wonderful your mother let goats in the house.
It's great.
Yeah, it's great. It's just great. And then he's like, come meet my mom. And I was like, like my friend Dax has said, do you want to go to the meet and greet of Heart? And I do, but I don't. And I'm just like, nah, I'll pay. I'm good. Let's just leave things lie. Yeah, but Tanya, I'm like, well, she's right there. Yep. So just, drinking her tequila. Where's my blueberry vape pen? As advertised. And I'm totally with her on all of those things. She looked great. She was very cool. Very nice. I said, I'm going to get out of here. This whole place is a little fucking crazy. She's like, I know, right? This is fucking crazy. I'm like, yeah, but it's Tanya Tucker. Yeah. But I don't think she realizes that. Especially in Nashville, they all just go, hi, because they all know each other. Friends. They've all known each other since they're 4. But anyway.
Her tequila's good.
The tequila was very good, and I'm not a tequila person.
Yeah.
But I have done a tequila tasting 2 in my life. And as you get better in tequila, more expensive, it tastes like scotch. To which I said to my friend, then why wouldn't I just drink scotch? Lewis drank scotch for a good 15 years. That was all he drank, and Glenlivet. And then I would drink some of his, but I only like a sip or two. I don't want a whole order of it. No.
Her tequila's it's thick. I like
Her
it.
tequila is very thick. It's not something I would dump to make a margarita. I mean, you'd have a killer margarita batch, but not if 50 people are coming over. Nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not giving you the good shit. I'm going to put the bad shit in the margaritas, and you won't even know the difference after you have to. But anyway, it was just a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. And then we toddled over, me and Delaney, to Eric Church's bar, where Morgan threw the chair off. And I went to the rooftop. You can consider me your personal travel advisor for Nashville. If you termites ever want to come or have any questions. But anyway, so I got to the rooftop, and I'm like, holy shit. That rooftop bar, there's a ton on Broadway, but that one, the wall was very high. And it wasn't just built because of Morgan. That's how it was when he threw the chair off. So not only did he throw a chair off, he had to hoist it. I mean, I couldn't see over the thing. I had to climb up on a rail, which is super not dangerous. Right. But I wanted to see over. I'm surprised no security didn't grab me. But I wasn't even drunk, like, at all.
Probably
I just...
see you.
Yeah, they probably didn't see me. Yeah. Nobody notices when you're 5'1". I can fucking do anything if you think about it. I should start robbing banks and shit. I don't know. The small troll person came in and demanded money. But I was shocked at how high. And then they put up a sign that said, "Don't even think about it. You're not Morgan Wallen," which is pretty funny.
That's funny.
But Eric Church has a Carolina barbecue floor in there. I did not have time to stop. I want to go back. And then he has a mini Ryman in there as a performing space.
Nice.
My little friend Doris trying to get tickets to that. I don't really know Eric Church's music. I would have to go listen to it.
He's really good.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him. But, and then I toddled on over to see the Morgan Wallen concert at Nissan Stadium. Now, anyone under 40 would tell you, it's the best show I've ever seen. Oh my God. Well, right, but you've only seen two.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say to the people in their 20s. And most of them were filming themselves watching Morgan, which is fine. I know that's what the kids do. His voice sounded great. Everything's set. But then they have a video of him coming from the bowels of the Bridgestone, of the Nissan Stadium.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there, and he every city he goes to, he gets a little posse of guys that are famous or whatever. And they're his little posse that come out with him through this video. It's happening in real time. Well, I'm like, okay, that's DeAndre Hopkins, the football player. And then I'm like, is that Theo Vaughn? And sure as shit, it was Theo Vaughn, who's a friend of mine. But I'm like, look at you guys just bopping around like rock stars. Like, I'm out here with a normal ticket, like a normal goddamn human being. And there's Theo. I mean, I don't want to do all that. That's the other thing. Like, I don't care to do all of it. But it did make me laugh.
I would love to see you rap in a tunnel with Morgan Wallen.
Well, they're all bouncing around and like shoulder bumping and missing high fives. I'm like, are you guys already hammered? I don't think they were, but it seemed that way. The concerts, this did not apply to Taylor. In stadiums, a lot can get lost. Elton John was great, but I'm old. Tay-Tay, I'm old, but she's not. Hers production was to a T. Morgan's, I felt like some people showed up for rehearsal and some people didn't.
Right.
A lot going on the screens. The kids don't seem to mind. I prefer focus.
Yes.
If you go to Elton John, there's a big screen behind him, 2 here, maybe 2 on the sides if they feel like spending the money. But it's the same video most of the time. It brings focus in.
Right.
This was boing. But then I thought, well, maybe the kids, they are boing. Right. Swipe. I think if they saw the same thing for more than 4 seconds, they'd be like, and throw the phone down. So if you like his music, he played everything. So
It's a good show.
there you go. All right, moving on. I don't have any. Snoop was at the Kentucky Derby, I think, with Martha Stewart. I saw a lot of Martha. I did not see a lot of Snoop.
He was bartending.
Oh, he was bartending.
She was making the appetizers.
Oh, of course she was. She looked great.
Yeah.
She's like 80-something. And when she had to go, "Riders up," like it's so inappropriate, it's hilarious. And you could tell she had no idea what she was doing. No. She's just saying whatever they told her to say. And, welcome to the infield. And, wow. And then Tay-Tay's going to Europe. If anybody, you termites, want to get on down over to Europe, have at it. I will not be attending any of that. I don't even know if I don't know if she's going to Ireland, but I'm not going anyway. She's not going where I'm going. I guarantee you that. She's not going to do the Dingle Peninsula with me. No, she's not going to get in a rental car and risk her life going to the Dingle Peninsula. Anyway, update. God, this makes me laugh. Bill that would make first cousin marriage illegal in Tennessee passes, but not without a fight.
Oh my God.
The bill, as amended by Representative Gino so-and-so, Republican from Brentwood, would that's this fancy part, by the way, Brentwood. It would prohibit first cousin marriage unless parties to the marriage received counseling from a genetic counselor licensed by a board of medical examiners. How many people have a cousin they think is this smoking hot? Apparently a few.
A lot, yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. But there were people arguing for it, saying that why not? So he's saying, what if you were gay and wanted to marry for? Well, that's not what they're talking about. You know,
That's confusing.
it's confusing genetically.
Right. Isn't it all about having kids?
It's about having kids. I thought we went over this like 100 years ago. I thought some of these issues I thought we had already settled. I'm like, could we just not have sex with your first cousin, please? Could you not do that? Yeah, I mean, in certain situations it probably wouldn't matter.
No.
This guy was really mad. I'm going to move to table that amendment that would allow first cousins to marry. He wants to table it. He wants it done.
I want to dig into his family reunion.
Yeah, it's got to go to Governor Bill Lee's desk to be signed.
Oh, God.
Governor Bill Lee, I don't know about him. He's too.
We got no comment on that.
Well, here's my complaint about any politician, left or right. If you're going to wear a flannel shirt, I need to believe you actually wear that. I don't. He's too square, too polished, and then that down-homey accent comes out. Like, just be Kay Ivey from Alabama. If you've seen my act, you know my feelings about Kay. Just be Kay and go, I don't give a shit how y'all feel. But wear your little suit. You know, she doesn't come out in her Walmart outfit. No. She comes out in a little suit. I'm the governor. I'm the governor of Alabama. I'm obsessed with Kay Ivey. Update. The gold watch I told you guys. I think I told you. I may have forgotten. So the world's richest passenger aboard the Titanic, John Jacob Astor. And if you've seen the movies and all that, he's featured prominently in those. They found his pocket watch.
Really?
Well, a long time ago. But they put it up for auction. A gold watch worn by John Jacob Astor, a member of the Astor family, and the richest man aboard. It sold for $1.48 million.
Wow.
Sold for 10 times its expected auction price.
Wow.
Yeah. It's more Titanic memorabilia. And I don't know if it works. Let's see. They also, they auctioned off the valise that held the violin famously played by the band leader as the ship sank, and a pocketbook that documents the Titanic's scheduled voyages. The valise sold for $360,000, and the violin itself sold for nearly $1.7 million at the time. Yeah, I don't know if the watch works. They don't say. It's a gold pocket watch.
Where did they find it?
He was one of the 1,500 people who died when the Titanic sank. His pregnant wife, Madeline, survived. Maybe he gave it to her.
Huh.
It doesn't say. After the recovery of his body, those possessions went to his son, Vincent Astor, who completely restored the watch so that it worked. There's our answer.
Great.
Read the whole story, Kathleen. Don't be like you're in school and just say, whatever. Who gives a shit? In 1935, Vincent gave the watch as a christening gift to the infant son of William Dobbin, Jacob Astor's executive secretary. That family kept it until the 1990s when it went up for auction. So there you go. It's been displayed in several museums. Yeah, well, there you go. Would you pay for that? That's something I wouldn't buy. But out of all the shit they auction off,
It should be in the American History Museum.
do you want Michael Jordan's stinky shoes or do you want this? I'll take that.
Stinky shoes.
Stink shoe. He's got stink shoe. I don't want basketball shoes that were worn.
No.
Gross.
Gross.
Oh. Update. Did you guys go watch Baby Reindeer?
Yes.
Like I said,
Frightening.
terrifying, isn't it? I'm going to go back to people don't take stalking seriously, and because when it goes too far, it's too late.
True.
You know, then they go, oh, look, this little actor is dead, you know, the one that got stabbed in her doorway, blah, blah, blah. Well, this is crazy. And then you think, I don't know, maybe. But I don't have a problem exposing the stalker because she's going to get out. People need to know. And I don't even think she should have went to prison. I think she should have gone to a mental institution.
Yes.
And stay for quite some time until licensed professionals can say she's over it.
Right.
Because her stalking wasn't just stalking. It could get crazy mean at times. Crazy mean.
She's a crazy person.
Well, listen to this. Something about the woman on her television screen made, if you didn't watch it, fast forward through this. But if you did, remember in Baby Reindeer, that lady was a lawyer.
Yes.
And that was all 100% true. Like she went through law. She's from upper middle class family, upper middle class, whatever. Something on a television screen made Laura Ray feel uneasy. The lawyer and widow of labor MP was relaxing at home, captivated by the opening minutes of the Netflix sensation Baby Reindeer, particularly by the character who was stalking a struggling comedian. What was it about Martha that seemed familiar? The raucous laugh that seemed just a bit too long, or the way she clutched her handbag to the side when timidly entering a pub. Whatever it was about this curly-haired she's Scottish, she reminded Laura of something from her past. Then the realization came like an electric jolt, and Laura slumped back on her sofa, open mouth. For she too knew Martha. Or the real Martha, who more than a quarter of a century early upended Laura's happy life with a relentless 5-year harassment campaign. It was so fierce that at one stage Laura was forced to issue her staff at her Glasgow law firm with panic alarms.
Holy crap. Wow.
In one scene from the drama, Martha flips from exuberance to screaming rage in an instant. That put it beyond doubt. I've seen her do it, says Laura. Baby Reindeer, which has been watched by 13 million viewers in just 2 weeks, topping Netflix, blah, blah, blah. One day, Martha walks into the pub. He takes pity, gives her tea. We know all that if you saw it. And then it's all about him getting all the emails. And the series hints at her previous history of stalking. The character, the struggling comedian, is seen Googling her and finding newspaper articles. Well, that was all true. But for Laura, the lawyer, they call him a barrister, referred to in fake headlines, the shocking recognition of the woman who terrorized her and her family and her severely disabled son, Frank, was almost instant. She said, they didn't change enough. Oh. It was way too similar. She said, well, but while Martha may be keen to... Martha's real mad about it in jail now because she said she's being bullied.
In jail?
She made a death threat against her husband. The final straw, she also upended the whole law office, like throwing things. I can't even imagine throwing something in an office, and then thinking you're not going to get fired. This is what I'm saying. You're not connected to reality. Right. The final straw came in 2002 when the woman falsely accused the couple of assaulting Frankie, then nearly 4 years old, who was born with a rare chromosomal disorder. I know Martha by her real name, but my jaw dropped watching the series. She called social services. Yeah, and they came. Thankfully, they believed this lawyer lady, Laura, and her husband, and they're like, no, she didn't. But to accuse somebody of that, if, let's say, social services didn't believe you, you'd lose your kid.
Right.
That's crazy. She said she felt sorry for it, too. That's why she hired everybody. That's why she hired her. Once she started with us at the law firm, she was rude to everyone. Once she threw a book across the room and hit a member of the staff on the head. Oh my God. One day she manned a phone line and we discovered she was recommending rival solicitors. I mean, this shit, can you imagine going, this law firm's terrible. You should call They haven't won a case in 50 years. I mean, I don't even know how the lights are on. I don't even understand. Like, what do you do? She also shouted at one of the secretaries, Karen, and she demanded she drop everything else she was doing and instead do something for her. She began threatening and screaming like in Baby Reindeer when she goes from quite pleasant to shouting, "Don't speak to me like that." Oh. She did the same in my office, and I told her, we're a business. I can't have that kind of behavior. I fired her after a week. She was furious and threatened that she'd do this, that, and the other to me. Then she ran from my room screaming, saying she was not going to leave, and she was calling the Law Society. She was saying everyone in the legal world disliked me and that my staff were useless.
Oh my God.
Then she started shouting, Jimmy Ray will rule the day. That's her husband.
Oh, boy.
The girls in the office were shaking and upset. They thought she was going to attack everybody. Eventually, she was threatened out, but was later spotted circling the office in her car.
Jaws music should.
She left a shit ton of messages on her answering machine.
Wow.
She kept turning up to lectures this lady was doing. And she'd be given a lecture, and then she'd just see her because she'd say, I have a question. And it was fucking her. Oh my God.
Wow.
They finally got her out of there, but I guess that's when maybe she moved on to the bartender.
That's crazy.
She claimed that she told social services that we hit our son, and I was forced to explain the background. Thankfully, they believed me, but it was just dreadful, and I was absolutely furious. I mean, I just think it's a lot more dangerous
Yes.
than the law. And then if it's online, the cops don't have time for that.
No.
And then, like, the guy takes his phone and says, look, she's emailed me 80 times today.
Right.
Well, the poor cop is like, dude, did she threaten you in any of these emails? No. She's like, I like chocolate. And the next one is rabbits. Like, they're crazy, but they're not threatening.
Right.
And then if you're the cop, what are you supposed to, I can't help it if you had an affair or you did something to start this,
Right.
but we can't end it. It's just, there's just no laws, and they don't have time for.
She likes you.
Hey, baby reindeer. Moving on. Holy shit, they found it. This is crazy. I'm so glad I wasn't a caveman, a cave woman, because the animals were so large, and I'm nearsighted. I could have never left a cave. I'd just be walking into giant dinosaurs and going, oh fuck, like being trampled again. Fossil vertebrae unearthed in a mine in western India are the remains of one of the largest snakes that ever lived. The monster estimated up to 15 meters in length. That's longer than a T-Rex.
Oh my God.
They've recovered 27 vertebrae from the snake, including a few still in the same position they would have been the reptile was alive. Oh my God. They said the snake named Vesca indicus would have looked like a large python and would not have been venomous. Well, it doesn't need venom. I would have seen it and had a heart attack, and then it could eat me.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to live to the point. And what if it, people always act like, oh, they're not venomous, so it doesn't matter. A snake can still bite you.
Right.
I mean, any snake can bite you.
Yep.
Like, and I'm sure, oh my God. It was a slow-moving predator that would subdue its prey through constriction like anacondas and pythons. It lived in a marshy swamp at the coast at a time when global temperatures were higher than today. How long is 15 meters? Come on, Canada.
Huh?
How long is 15 meters?
In what, feet?
Feet. Yeah. I didn't pay attention when we had metric class for like an hour.
Like 50? 50 feet?
50? Holy shit. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Holy shit, they found it. Michigan researchers discover eerie 1909 shipwreck at the bottom of Lake Superior.
No.
The Great Lakes scare me.
What?
Yeah,
Why?
they do. They scare me because I can't see the other side.
Okay.
And if I'm in a lake, I expect to see land wherever I'm at.
Okay.
If I'm in the ocean, I expect to not see land wherever I'm at. So the lakes to me are more like the ocean. And sometimes in downtown Chicago, Lake Michigan, which by the way, my sister and her friends went, they were like 25. And she's like, oh my God, did you know there's a lake here? I go, yeah, I've heard of that. Yep, Kate,
You went to private school.
you went to private school and you're done now, and you didn't pick that one up. Which one of you child geniuses saw that lake?
Are we in the ocean?
You and your friends. Oh my God, you guys. There's a lake out there. Maybe they were younger. I don't know, but it was shocking. Anyway, so I feel like there's all these major shipwrecks because those, I feel like Lake Superior, Lake Ontario, they can turn in a minute and then they turn into an ocean.
Yes.
It's flat. There's no mountains to block it. And the wind can just stir up
Come on in.
crazy shit. I would have been terrified back in the day. Terrified now, but more terrified then. Because they didn't have the equipment or the weather or any of that, which, anyway. Historians in Michigan recently announced a shipwreck dating back to more than a century has been discovered at the bottom of Lake Superior. The Adele shores, and they have a picture of Adele. Hello, Adela. A wooden steamship built in 1894 was carrying salt, good job, to Duluth, Minnesota when it suddenly mysteriously disappeared on May 1st, 1909. None of the ship's 14 sailors were ever heard from again. Oh, that's sad. Yeah. The vessel's name came from the company that built it, which was Shore's Lumber Company, and the owner's daughter, who was named Adela. The ship was spotted in the summer of 2021, thanks to GLSH's side scan sonar system. Researchers found the remains of the ship's boiler, its cargo hold, its port bow, and more on the bottom. Although the debris was found, there was no signs of the sailors' remains. Well, yeah, I wouldn't think at this point. We're 100 years past that. The weather was often a prime factor back then. Lakes create their own microclimates and conditions can change extremely quickly. That's why I would be afraid. Weather reporting was not as accurate as today. It's still not that good. No, it's supposed to be thunderstorming here right now, and it's just not.
There's clouds.
Yeah, reduced visibility caused problems too. The vessel collisions were not uncommon. There were far more ships operating too, way more back then. The Adela shore sank 2 times before the fatal incident. It already sank twice. Wow. The ice caused the ship to sink twice at docks. Oh, that's how they retrieved it. But a storm most likely caused the final shipwreck. They would have been sailing blind through low visibility situations, sometimes leading to collision. There are more than 6,000 to 10,000 shipwrecks in the Great Lakes. Many have not been discovered yet, but officials have found 12 in the past 3 years. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like maybe we can find them all now.
Right.
People will often ask us why we wait so long to release shipwrecks that we find. Every one of these stories is important and it deserves to be told with the utmost honor and respect. That's nice.
Yeah.
And then they try to contact the people that their relatives were on it, if they have the manifest of who went.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Last holy shit, they found it. Breathtaking new paintings found in Pompeii. Every day is another just...
We gotta go to Pompeii.
Pompeii is just revealing itself, and these people in this painting have a dog with them, but it also looks like it could be a tiger. Excellent. Maybe they had a pet tiger, or there was a tiger dog, a tog, if you will. Maybe there was a crossbreed. They found the frescoes are the most finest to be found in the ruins of the ancient site. I wonder if you can go see them. It's in the room. It's a mosaic floor too. Also, they found the floor. A third of the lost city still has to be cleared of volcanic debris. A third. They've only gotten to 2/3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The current dig, the biggest in its generation, is underlying Pompeii's position as the world's premier window on the people and the culture of the Roman Empire. Oh, wow, yeah. This has got a private residence, a garden, a shrine, a stable, skeletons, millstones, an atrium. This is a rich person. Holy Christ. I mean, to have all that, I'm seeing if that's a tiger or a dog. Whatever, those people put a pet in their fresco.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I'll put the pictures up. You guys can go look, but it is worth a look. Moving on to news.
We gotta go to Pompeii.
I want to go to Pompeii really bad. News. Where are my Harry Potter people? Where are you at? My bartender friend Brandy in Las Vegas. She's in. She loves Harry Potter. Yeah, my sister-in-law Ellie loves Harry Potter.
Aaron does too.
Aaron Weber, comedian Aaron Weber loves Harry Potter. Because when we did Orlando, the Hard Rock, he was like, "Hey, do you want to go to the Harry Potter thing with me?" I'm like, "Harry Potter Land?" I'm like, "No." Love you, Aaron. Would love to spend the afternoon with you. But I took my nephews to the movie. Fine.
It was good.
Yeah, I liked it.
I haven't seen it since.
And then, though I used to do a joke in my act, it was true, though. They were like 10 or whatever, and they're like, "We like the books a whole lot better." I go, "Well, that's what you get for reading." I didn't read the book, and I thought the movie was perfectly acceptable. Highly entertaining. I wish I had that broom to ride around on in the ball and play that game. Anyway, this is kind of crazy. The original Harry Potter cover drawing is set to smash auction records. It's a watercolor. here's what's weird to me. It looks like a cartoon. And the whole idea of Harry Potter is that it's real.
Right.
It's not animated. It's not fantasy. I'm supposed to believe it's real. So I don't think they ended up using this one. They did not. But I would have been hard no. It also looks like the Where's Waldo person. And it says there's a picture of the train. They think it's going to go for $600,000. I say I'm predicting termites well over $1 million. I think they're underestimating how much Harry Potter people like Harry Potter shit.
Yeah, and if you got cash.
It's a thing. It's a big thing. The priciest ever Harry Potter item ever to come to auction. The original watercolor drawing for the first installment of Blockbuster series goes on sale at Sotheby's beginning bearing a high estimate of $6,000. The image served as a cover for a book that would go to sell in excess of 120 million copies, placing it among the world's best-selling books, can be translated into 85 languages, blah, blah, blah. The same work sold at Sotheby's, fetching $101,000. That was back before this. So how many of them are there?
Right.
They're saying this is the original one. What's her face is happy about it? The artist. No, not her. The artist is happy.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I'm just saying, termite, you heard it here first. It's going to go for more than $600,000.
Okay.
That's my prediction, because I don't think they are estimating how much people are into it.
They're rabid.
Yeah. This is my favorite story of the week.
Okay.
I just think it's amazing. I've told you about the gangs of monkeys in Thailand. Mm-hmm. If you listen to this podcast, you are up to speed on monkey games. Mm-hmm. Monkey games. Yep. Gangs. Well, get a load of this. It goes back. I know I've said it on this podcast, but Lewis and I one night watched, now I'm not going to be thinking of the name of it. Monkey Shines. Mm-hmm. If you've never seen that movie, do yourself a favor, and it's going to freak you out how smart monkeys are. And the monkey is helping this guy who becomes a quadriplegic, and then the monkey turns bad. And then the monkey takes over his life. And the monkey is injecting him with drugs.
Stop it.
I'm serious. And then halfway through the movie, the man who's playing the quadriplegic, Lou goes, "Oh yeah, I know him. We went to theater school." I'm like, "Fuck, you know that guy in the TV? And you just told me this now? We're 5 minutes into." He's like, "Yeah, he's a really nice guy." I go, "Don't blow it. Now I already believe he's a quadriplegic. Don't tell me that he's running around playing basketball. You're gonna ruin the movie for me, Lou." But anyway, if you watch Monkey Shines, you will see what can happen. It's not a documentary. I mean, it's made up. But I guess this is how I know it's possible. Fearless monkey gang tear down anti-monkey posters in terrifying town uprising.
What?
Yep.
Stop it.
They put up posters of them saying they're bad, and they fucking tore them down. This is why I will never have a pet monkey. Because even if it looks at you, this is the main reason. They're smarter than us, and they're smarter than you think. And then it has a look in its eye like it's really sweet, and bam, it's going to inject you with heroin or something. A group of bold monkeys have started tearing down a staggering 30 posters protesting ape tourism in the tourist hotspot of Lopburi, Thailand, in a bizarre act of defiance.
Oh my God. The gangs are getting smarter.
If you think you shouldn't be afraid of these guys, you're wrong. A gang of monkeys have taken action after posters appeared protesting their presence. They didn't like it. Fuck you, it's our house.
Crazy.
I live in Thailand. Don't you put up a poster saying I don't live here. Lobpuri, Thailand is known for its rich history, but it has another draw for visitors. In this city, monkeys freely roam the streets, rubbing shoulders with the town's human inhabitants. But these gangs, they ganged up. Say the Bloods and the Crips, we'll call them that, right? And then the fighting got so crazy that the locals couldn't even go outside. They were terrified.
Right.
There is no peaceful coexistence, however. With primate attacks increasingly common, tensions between man and monkey is at an all-time high, and some want to see the primates gone for good. That's when the movie starts.
Ding, 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 ding,
Yep.
ding. Wow.
One group even put up signs protesting against the monkeys living there on April 21st, but an apparent counter-protest was launched at about 6 p.m. the next day, when the primate population would typically turn in for the night. They're supposed to be going to their night-night.
Oh boy.
But however, on this evening, an army of animals took to the streets and bit by bit tore down and destroyed more than 30 of the posters.
Stop it. Oh my God.
Local outlet, such and such, some newspaper, I can't pronounce it, reported fed up locals put up signs showing their dissatisfaction with the Thai Department of National Parks and Monkey Tourism. The banners called on officials to catch the monkeys and release them back into the wild. Other posters question whether Lobpuri drew in tourists to experience the city's history or just to look at the monkeys.
Oh my God.
The city relies on monkey tourism as a significant source of income and even hosts an annual monkey buffet festival on the last Sunday in November.
What does that mean?
It's called Mixed Messages.
Yeah. Are we
Thailand.
eating monkeys?
What?
Do they eat monkeys?
No, the monkeys get fed. They have a giant buffet of fruits, everything they ever want.
Oh my God.
We've discussed this on this podcast, Paddles. The monkey buffet.
No.
Yes.
I don't remember that.
This sees they have a banquet of fruit laid out among the ruins of Prang Samyat Temple to show the appreciation for the monkeys.
Okay.
Well, which is it, folks?
Right. To feed or not?
Don't confuse them. They immediately go to anger. However, the last few years, the monkeys have gone rambunctious. 2 years ago, this is what we talked about, a primate turf war brought Lopburi to a standstill as monkeys descended on the city center in search of food. The hungry primates had gone with food and were used as COVID restrictions stopped tourists from visiting. Wow. So then the tourists aren't feeding them.
Right.
And then they're mad. Therefore, so a joint task force, remember, they removed them.
Do you remember that?
And they got put in a facility.
They're hateful.
Well, I think Thailand, you guys need to decide what you're doing with your monkeys.
Toe the line.
And I would say keep them. Tourists are coming.
Yeah.
I love that they tore down the posters. Fuck you, I'm not welcome. But that means they looked at the poster and understood that it was bad.
Yep.
I don't know if they understood what it meant, but they understood this isn't a cute picture of me. You took a selfie like ding, ding, when they're behind the idiot from America going, come here, little monkey. And that thing's just going to go, "Meow," and you won't have an ear. I wouldn't get near them. Crazy. Burger King. We're moving on. Have you guys been in any of the fast foods that are automated now where there's no people?
Been at McDonald's.
I've been in McDonald's in Kentucky.
Yeah.
It didn't work out right. But I don't know if it's because they didn't have enough employees or because it's Kentucky or because maybe it's user error. Maybe I didn't do it right. Mm-hmm. But I have been into others that do it in Banff, Canada. Mm-hmm. Like 4 years ago.
McDonald's.
They had a McDonald's one.
Yep.
It worked fine. Mm-hmm. I probably just got into it by one. But by 2028, Burger King is starting now. Mm-hmm. They're going to overhaul 6,000 Burger Kings where you're going to walk in and you're not going to see a person. You're just going to see screens. And then your food comes out through a thing. You don't, unless it's a shake or something that could spill, you don't see a person. At least in the ones I've been in.
I don't think that's bad.
I'm not against it.
The children don't want to work there anyway.
No, the kids don't want to work there.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't pay enough.
No.
They're going to revamp outlets and cut costs, and with kiosks potentially leading to fewer staff. Yeah, and lower wage expenses. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess it's time. You know, when people complain, I'm like, well, the blacksmiths weren't happy when the car came. I mean, you know, stuff comes. Right. And do we really need a person to do that? Like, I'm not about cutting jobs. I want to keep jobs, but these jobs are low paying and a lot of people don't want them. Right. So
there's still people making the food.
Right. There's still people making. It's like that thing in the Raleigh airport where anything just pops out. Somebody made it. Mm-hmm. There's people back there. And if you're an antisocial person, this is way better.
Totally.
Right. They have plans for 85 to 90% of its 7,000 outlets in the U.S. It's quietly announced it would roll out self-service kiosks, but it was scant on the details and did not provide the number at the time.
Of course.
I'm not against it.
I like it.
Yeah. It's going to take a hot minute. They're going to spend $2.2 billion doing it.
Whoa.
Yep, but they must have done the math.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, California's already doing it. So that's in here. If you're in California, go in. Tell me what you think. Termites, are you in favor or not? I don't know. At some point, they're just going to say we're doing it.
Right.
So just accept it. Is it any... Now they have AI drive-thrus. I saw it on TikTok. And I think it was real. I don't think it was a bullshit TikTok video.
Isn't McDonald's launching that? AI? We talked about it on the Pubcast.
I don't remember. AI with McDonald's?
Yeah.
Here's some bullshit. Moving on. I'm still in favor of the monkeys. So great. They looked at the poster and went, this is not good.
Fuck it.
This poster is not saying nice things about me. Call Bob. Call Tom. Call Sherry and Elaine. And we're tearing them all down tonight. Everyone we can get our little goddamn tiny primate paws on. We are ripping them apart. So Greece, apparently, I've never been. I'd like to go at some point, I suppose. These summer places in Europe are so crowded because Lewis went last year. And then I was thinking about after Ireland, maybe going somewhere. But then I'm going in May to Ireland because there's fewer people there. But still Europe, like Lou was there in June, and he said it was crazy. Like Amsterdam was so crazy, he couldn't, well, also, Grandpa Lou, if you're listening, I'm sorry. But you have to get those tickets online beforehand. Exactly. He thought you could still just, like you used to be able to, just walk up, get a ticket. It's a museum. You would think you could just go in. Well, now it's all bullshit. So I guess the places in Greece, the main tourist attractions are hyper packed. So they're going to offer private tours of the Acropolis.
Stop it.
$5,000.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we're going to make that elitist?
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm not Bernie Sanders. I'm not a socialist. But you should figure out how to manage your tickets, put them online, first come, first serve.
So this is going to be instead of normal people, not just specific.
Well, they'll be taking up time and space. Wow. Yeah. So this is what it's talking about. And then is everybody going to end up doing this? Where there's only a small amount of time? Yeah. For regular people? That's terrible. Jackie and Malcolm Love stood amidst a bevy of tourists in the heart of Athens, taking in the Acropolis with a mixture of awe and admiration. The Greek's capital, greatest classic site, was truly magnificent, they said, but the crowds had been such, even in April, that they preferred to experience it from a distance. We did not go with all those people, Jackie said, looking up at the mountain. We didn't think it was the best thing to do, did we? She said, nudging her husband. He was probably like, I'm going. Right. And she was like, no, okay, you're right. Nope. The couple, blah, blah, blah. She said, we wouldn't pay the $5,000 for the private tour. Crazy prices, certainly not for people like us. It's the biggest attraction in Greece. It gets more than 22,000 visitors a day, forcing authorities to introduce tough controls, including a time slot. Yes, control your tickets. Yeah. Disney World, Disneyland. Me and Bob, my friend Bob, were talking about this. Like, at some point, there's just an unlimited amount of people that could come in. No, they've had problems with this in both of those. So how many tickets? Decide. Right. How many are we selling? Total, max. And then make it available instead of going, well, there's too many people here. Let's just charge them $5,000. That'll weed out the crowd. Well, it sure will, but it's not very nice, especially when people come all the way over there to do that. This year, officials have gone a step further, allowing a scheme that allows sightseers to beat the crowd and experience the masterpiece on an exclusive basis. The initiative foresees up to 4 groups of 5 people being guided by an expert between 7 and 9 and 8 to 10. So it's before opening and closing. But those times could be open to us, right? To everyone.
Extend the hours.
Yes, extend the hours. To avoid thousands of selfie snap, and maybe there's no one way in or out.
Yeah, I've never been.
I've never been. It would. Well, the Colosseum, like I'm trying to think, like Rome was really crowded, but the Colosseum, there's really only a few ways in legally.
There's a flow to it too.
In the Vatican, there's only one way in. I don't know about the Acropolis. Maybe it's just such a free for all they can't control it. Yeah, but they're still selling tickets, so they must be counting people. We've had requests from tour operators for a very long time. Right. Of course they want to do it. That's how they're going to make a shit ton of money. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, you also get a replica of a coin at your souvenir for your $5,000.
Which you can probably get.
You could get it some cart. Yeah, leaving there. I don't know. I vote no.
No.
I vote no on marrying your first cousin. These are my votes today. I vote yes on the monkeys in Thailand. Keep the monkeys. Stop with the evil posters. Yeah, put up nice pictures of them. Maybe you can sway them. Maybe oil paintings, tiny little oil paintings of all the monkeys in town. I'd do it. I can paint.
You should run for the mayor position.
God dang,
and then
people.
You have influence also on relations with Europe.
Speaking of animals being smarter than you think, an orangutan appeared to treat a wound with medicine from a tropical plant. And the latest examples of some animals attempt to soothe their own ills with medicine found in the forest.
What?
This orangutan, I've seen his picture, her picture, I don't know, had a horrible, well, that's the other thing. I was taught, and I asked you, without any information, how do you describe this monkey? And I showed you a picture, or ape, or whatever, and you go, orangutan. I go, that's what I've said my whole life.
Right.
Well, everybody that was in charge of me failed completely. There's no G on the end.
Nope.
And then I went to Google and said, how do you pronounce? And it was like, orangutan.
Orangutan.
Orangutan. Who says orangutan?
No
It's
one.
orangutan. And it was a fun word to say as a kid.
Right.
Because it all sounds hilarious. Well, I'm just going to keep saying it. I've said it wrong this long. Orangutan. No, it's orangutan. Tang. And you have to throw your Midwest part in there. Oh my God, I saw an orangutan. At the zoo, they have a new orangutan. Oh my God. This guy, an adult male, he had a horrible wound under his eye, but it was almost like attached to his eye. Like you're like, ooh, this is bad. Well, scientists observe his name's Rackus. Pluck and chew up some leaves from a medicinal plant used by the people throughout Southeast Asia to treat pain and inflammation. The adult orangutan uses fingers to apply the plant juices to an injury on his right cheek. Afterward, he pressed the chewed plant to cover the open wound like a makeshift bandage. Previous things have seen them kind of doing it, but they hadn't seen proof yet. This is the first time we observed a wild animal applying a quite potent medicinal plant directly to his wound. This was recorded in 2022, but they're just releasing it in a paper. It takes them so long to write papers. I would just tell people, hey, you can't believe what I saw today. They never saw somebody with this with this kind of behavior. And the whole thing was fixed.
Really?
He recovered perfectly.
Wow.
Yeah. It's amazing. This is what I'm saying. Don't underestimate the primates.
I like that the scientists didn't try to help him.
Yeah, what preserve is he in? Can't you walk over and hand him a bottle of Neosporin and go, here you go, here's a little tube of Neosporin. It's very cheap at Walgreens. Don't feel bad. It's free to you. It's free. Just here, put it right there.
Totally. Let's see if he can fix himself.
Yeah. Here's a little something for our everyday folks. How do we like Southwest Airlines? Well, I don't love it, but here's the props I'll give them. It always makes it. I'm never late, and they haven't lost luggage, and they don't charge you for luggage.
It does not always make it.
Well, I went 100 times from Nashville to St. Louis on Southwest and to Kansas City. New airport, fabulous Kansas City termites. So great. And there was never a flight delayed, nothing.
Yeah.
It was good. So it gets you there. Here's the thing though, the boarding process. Because I do a joke in my act that I don't know why people bother going to faith healers, because Southwest Airlines will cure any problem you have, because I go on Southwest and I see about 20 people getting on in a wheelchair.
Yep.
And then we land in Kansas City and everybody walked off. Oh, miracles everywhere. Boom, you get a miracle. Boom, you're cured. Boom, you're healed. It's such bullshit. You know, the old people, absolutely. I don't even care if it's just because you're old. That's fine. But a lot of them, bullshit.
They want first on.
They just want a first on. Well, Southwest is considering, and very likely, to not have open seating board, or you're going to have to pay for seats.
Really?
Pick your seat, buy your seat. But it's also because Southwest is realizing all the money they're losing. So let's say you go on United or American or Delta, you can upgrade yourself to Economy Plus or whatever you want to call it, or up to first class, or. Well, none of those exist on Southwest, so they're missing out on that income.
Right.
So they're going to they're weighing, but it's already falling in favor of we're doing it, changing boarding and seating. The carrier stands out from the other large airlines with its open seating plan. Meanwhile, rivals like Delta and United have touted high revenue growth from premium seating.
Right.
Yeah, you're missing it. Their CEO is Bob Jordan.
Hi, Bob.
I remember when it was the guy that invented it. That's how old I am. I can't remember his name, but he was awesome. And he used to fly around in costumes.
What?
He'd be on your plane. He was the Easter Bunny when I got on a plane. And it was actually him.
An Easter bunny?
Yeah, he had an Easter Bunny outfit on. But sometimes his outfits didn't make sense. Maybe he was just a secret furry and nobody knew.
Herb Kelleher.
Herb. Yeah. He was fun.
He looks fun.
Yeah.
We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah. The boarding is organized. I always hoped Herb was on my planes. It was like meeting Bucky. Like, you're like, oh, this is great. Look at him. It was always Dallas to somewhere. He must have lived in Dallas. Because I feel like whenever I would go to, not the big airport in Dallas. I can't think of the little one name. Oh, come on, Kathleen. Midway is Houston. It's Dallas. See what the...
Love.
Dallas. Love?
Dallas Love Airport.
That's the smaller one. Yeah, where Southwest used to go in and out of all the time. I don't know if that's still the case. But Delta and United have touted high revenue growth for premium seating, such as business class, and strong upsell rates. Because you can even buy at the last minute. If nobody bought it, they offer it to you.
Right.
Do you want to jump up to an aisle or a window and get out of a middle seat? Boom, $25 or whatever they want to charge that day. I'm sure they're making a lot of extra money. I don't mind the boarding process. I think it works. There's a million comedians with jokes about it. My friend Aaron, he's lost a lot of weight, but he used to be semi-chubby. And he said his plan was he always picked the fattest guy on the plane, and then he sat next to that guy because no one would want to sit in the middle of him. So he boxed people out. And then there's another comedian that said, act too excited for people to sit next to you, and then they'll think you're crazy. Like, just sit on the aisle and go, pat the seat and go, it's open. Do you want to sit by me? And people will be like, I'm good. I'll just keep walking. So, count the days, travelers. I think it's coming to an end. I think Southwest is going to redo it all. But that might cut down on the miracles, too.
Yeah.
I feel...
There will no longer be a faith healing airline.
Right. They are the faith healing. They outdo every televangelist I've ever seen.
That's funny.
Do you live in Washington, the state of Washington?
No.
No, I don't live. Well, guess what? You won't be the only one living there. The feds are moving in grizzlies.
What?
To the northern Cascades. Yeah. Last confirmed sighting of a grizzly bear was in 1996.
Wow.
They're coming back. The National Park Service and U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service announced Thursday a decision to actively restore the animals in the region where they lived for thousands of years. Last confirmed sighting, 1996. The plan is to move 3 to 7 grizzly bears from the Rocky Mountains or British Columbia, that's you, Paddles, every summer for 5 to 10 years till we get a population of 25 bears.
Wow.
Goal of the population is 200 bears in 60 to 100 years. There's no timeline yet for when the bears will be moved into Washington, but federal officials will publish updates as they are finalized. We're going to once again see grizzly bears in the landscape, restoring an important thread of the fabric of the Northern Cascades. Now, I would think there's people that are going to be upset about this. I'm not sure why we're doing it. I'll keep reading. It had 12,000 public comments, many with concerns over the bear's effect on humans, livestock, and other wildlife. Right. But then, somebody else called it outrageous and misguided.
Someone shit on it immediately.
Some are going to shit on it immediately. Well, I would too if it's going to eat my animals.
Yeah.
They're considered a threatened species in the lower 48 under the Federal Endangered Act species. There are about 2,000 grizzly bears outside of Alaska. In the 19th century, there were estimated 50,000 in the United States.
Wow.
But their numbers dropped by the early 1930s, mostly because of killing humans. Under the new plan, the bears would be considered a non-essential experimental population.
Okay.
They're going to be treated as threatened. So that means you can't be shooting them and shit. I mean, yeah, for fun. I don't think they're not going to have a hunting season if they're bringing them in.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't really say why except to bring them back. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into an opinion on that because A, I don't have one, and B, animal people go crazy. Crazy. This is very important.
Okay.
If you live in the Southeast, Tennessee, Kentucky, Carolinas. So I've told you about the cicadas that are coming. If you listen to this podcast, you were very up to speed on that.
It started.
Well, it started. Baby Cat brought one up. And baby cat had it on the porch. I don't think she realized it was alive and went, started flying around. She was like, meow, meow, meow. She's so not bright sometimes that it is absolutely hilarious. I'm like, you brought it here. And then she was just backed off, and because it was, I mean, they can fly.
Right.
A strange fungus could transform emerging cicadas into salt shakers of death. Zombie cicadas.
What did you just say?
You heard it. I'm not going to reread it.
Oh my God.
I'm going to tell you about it, though.
Zombie death.
Zombie cicadas. This spring, billions of cicadas will emerge after more than a decade underground, ready to climb into the trees and make a ruckus as they sing to attract mates. I actually had one fly on me when I was doing my 5K thing through the Greenbelt, and they just land on you, and like even when you flick them off, they don't really want to leave.
I feel like a grasshopper.
Yeah, well, but not as hyper as a grasshopper. They're not like a grasshopper is faster. They seem lazier. I don't know. Like I flicked it and it still didn't want to. I'm like, get off, and then it flies away. But anyway, some of these insects won't succeed in their goal of finding a mate. Instead, they will be controlled like zombies into spreading a strange fungus that hijacks cicadas' bodies and behavior. The details of the fungus attacks on the bugs, destroying insects' genitalia, replacing their abdomens with a cavity full of fungal spores, manipulating the bugs into hypersexual behavior to spread the fungus further, and transforming cicadas into what scientists have called salt shakers of death. May seem like they belong in a creature horror movie, but when it comes to the fungus, they said the truth is actually much stranger than fiction.
So weird.
Mm-hmm. They don't know how they get exposed to the fungus, but when they're exposed, the spores make their way into their body, and from that point on, the cicadas are at their mercy of the fungal parasite. A mass of fungal spores builds up in the abdomen and infects the cicada. Eventually, the back end of the cicada, including its genitalia, fall off.
Oh my God.
In its place, a white fungal, a plug is exposed. A clump of spores that are erupting out of where the genitalia and abdomen once were. It looks like there's a gumdrop that has been dropped in chalk dust glued to the backside. They'll still attempt to mate, even without their genitalia.
They're all men.
Right. It's still a drunk dude at a bar. So if that thing falls off of them, then they die. If the fungus thing, that part falls off.
Jelly bean.
Yeah. Their flying salt shakers go on to infect the next generation of cicadas that will emerge more than a decade later. It's not stopping.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They're called zombies. So now you know. If you see one and it flips over and it's got a white chunk of dot, I've already seen like 3.
Of those kind?
No, I wasn't looking. I don't know.
Now we know.
I was looking to make fun of the cat. She's so like, what's happening? You did it. You did it. All right.
Stop it.
We're gonna end with celebrity writer things, and then I have to do a couple quotes from Tay. Oh, and I have to do a thank you. Hold on. I don't have that many thank yous because I didn't go anywhere. I just have my post office box.
Thank God you cleaned that out.
Let's do some more celebrity writer things.
Okay.
I did Rihanna. Paul McCartney. This is what he requires backstage.
Okay.
Plants everywhere, meat nowhere.
Oh.
That would really disappoint some of my opening acts.
Right.
They're looking for a sandwich.
This is a
Legendary
mean
cost of his rider is $4,000.
Huh.
No, Paul
Not bad
McCartney.
for an arena.
Legendary blah, 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 blah. He banishes fur, leather. Uh-oh. I don't know if my Puma tennis shoes are real leather.
There.
Oh, shit. He'd make me take off my shoes.
Take off your shoes. Stop it.
He can only have animal-free materials, cotton, denim, velvet, in his dressing room, and that his limousines cannot be made of leather. Suffice to say that inviting Paul McCartney to a steakhouse would be a very bad idea.
You're terrible.
Yep.
I didn't know he was.
Jay-Z.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
His request cost $15,000.
Okay.
He wants 7 dressing rooms and several types of drinks. Well, a lot of the venues that he would play, there's bazillions of dressing rooms. It doesn't matter. Here, you want 100? I mean, here, take them. The amount, but it doesn't mean they're going to be great.
Right.
It just means we are in a concrete basement of a concrete establishment. Here's your concrete little cell.
True.
That's why when the opener always says, "Do you want me to stay in here?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be so bored." I mean, you don't have to. If you want to go look at your notes or something, go ahead. I'm not your mother telling you have to, but isn't it more fun if there's two of us? But I don't have 100 people with me and these guys. This is what he wants. He has he wants 77-degree room temperature.
Oh, but what's Beyonce's?
It was also 70 something. Yeah.
Well, they agreed on that.
Beyonce is 77. It's right there. He wants a large sofa, 48 bottles of Fiji. Holy shit. 6 cans of Coke, totally reasonable. 6 cans of Red Bull, I get it.
They can't be together.
6 bottles of vitamin water.
Because she can't have Pepsi.
He doesn't share the Pepsi only deal. He's all right with it. All right, this is the one because I'm gonna just do a couple every week because they're really good. Okay. This one I think is by far the craziest that I've seen, but the other ones are good too. I'll save them for next week. Okay. Celine Dion. Oh, she's so French. She's just everything about her is so Francais. $350,000. That's what it's going to cost. She wants a private jet and 75 first-class hotel rooms for her production team.
Oh, my God. What does that mean?
Well, how far are you going on this jet?
Right.
I know their private jet is basically $5,000 an hour. It doesn't matter how many people are on it. So how far are you going?
Right.
Wow. She has a presidential suite for her and her son. What about the other son? Aren't there 2? I guess he doesn't go. A mandatory temperature of 71.6.
Oh, my God.
You know, I've never thought about demanding ever a temperature, but I do remember being somewhere in Pennsylvania going, is there any way I could get a space heater? Right. I mean, guys, I didn't take off my coat. I wanted to go on stage in my coat, but I stopped myself because I can't be that crazy. But it was that fucking cold. They can't heat those old theaters. No. And I don't blame them, but can we? And then I think, well, space heater will probably cause a fire, and then I'll be the cause of that. So then Midwest just shuts up, and I figure out, what if I jog in place? I'll get warmer. Like, I don't even ask for it, but...
Didn't you wear long underwear?
I wear long underwear in Wichita and Tulsa this year. Not embarrassed to say it. Yeah, I wore it 3 weekends in a row. It was 2 in Wichita.
Right.
And like 4 in Tulsa, which was abnormally cold even for them. No, I had a wonderful show. I was cozy, toasty, not cold at all.
Oh my God. That's funny.
Cher's only $20,000. She does require a separate hotel room for her wigs.
What?
That makes me laugh, so you can have it. You want a room for your hair? No problem.
That's funny.
She wants that. Her other 2 strange requests is she must have aloe vera tissues available at all time, and she will only use black cups.
Black cups? What are you hiding, Cher?
I don't know.
What are you hiding?
It's kind of weird. So before I do my Tay quotes, shout out. Carhartt. I don't ever say things on this show to get free shit, but I bought my my cousin Mike had a baby, and I found baby Carhartt overalls, which were the cutest goddamn things I'd ever seen in my life. And I must have mentioned it on the podcast. I don't remember. Maybe just because I said go if you're looking for, if it's like my cousin Mike, he likes to hunt and fish, and he's an outdoor guy. He wants his kid. I'm sure he wants the boys to look like they're ready to go. I have Carhartts, yeah, but I go fishing, and anyway, the baby ones are the cutest things I've ever seen. So they sent me this little hat, and it's got a clover. It says 1889 Carhartt.
So fun. I
I love all Carhartt things.
Totally stealing that.
Yes, so a Nashville termite who worked for Carhartt gave me that.
Cool.
I got a pint glass. It says, I do not recall I need an attorney, from Judy in New Hampshire. New Hampshire termite. A hermite, I'd call her a hermite. Hampshire termite.
A hermite. I like
Betty and Corrine, Boise termites. Personalized pint glass. And I got keychains. Sally. I got that book. I can't pronounce this man's last name. It's from World War II. It's a biography.
Cool.
I'm excited. Yeah. Claudia gave me the Mr. Bill doll. This is what the monkeys said when they saw the poster. Judy in Asheville Termite would like me to come back up there. And, you know, I do get up there. I've been up there a bunch. I love to go up with the children in Asheville. There's a lot of regular older people, too. But there's a lot of kids that I think it's some sort of nirvana. Mm-hmm. Till winter and they can't get off the mountain. Monica, Kansas City, got a welcome pillow for the News.Podcast. I don't have it up here, but it's downstairs.
Fun.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, we're going to do our little quotes. And off we go to go see if it's actually raining. Let's do Tay-Tay first.
Okay.
This is a foreword to 1989
Okay.
and the album in 2014. You are the only one who gets to decide what you will be remembered for.
Oh.
Deep thought.
Yeah. That should be a bumper sticker.
Not really true, though. It depends on who gives your eulogy.
True that.
I could have made up all kinds of shit about my dad if I wanted to. Here's another thing about Jackalope. No, I did not do that. I would not do that. Dolly. Let's get a good one.
Funny.
Oh, no, I already read that one. Give me a second. Reflecting on her positive outlook in an interview with Southern Living. I'm a songwriter, so I have to live with my feelings on my sleeve. I have to not harden my heart because I want to stay open to feel things. So when I hurt all over. And when I cry real hard. But when I'm mad all over. Whoa. Yeah. But I was born with a happy heart. I'm always looking forward to things being better.
That's nice.
There's always that tiny bit I like where the rednecks go, when I'm mad all over. Mad.
Fuck you up.
I don't think Dolly would say, I'm going to fuck you up. Maybe.
Fuck you up.
I don't know what she says.
Depends on what time of day.
All right, termites. So go have a fun week. I am doing a whole lot of nothing, which is much needed. It's been a crazy, crazy year and a half. And it's calm down time.
You're packing for Ireland.
Well, I am packing for Ireland. I'm trying to find clothes that are going to that pair well with 52 and rain.
Yeah. Waterproof.
I don't even care. If it gets too cold, I just quit and go to the pub.
It's great.
Like, I don't take golf seriously enough. This is a great story. I'll tell it before. Then we'll sign off. But so one time, Lewis and I were golfing in Ireland, and we went to Ballybunion. It's a famous course. But there was like 60-mile-an-hour winds, sideways rain. It's a fucking hurricane. I think over 50, you're officially a hurricane. And Lou's like, are we really playing? Are we serious? I go, Lou, took a year to get this tee time. I go, I'll go in and speak to Nora about it. Said, there's this older woman, Nora, who's worked there forever, still works there as of,
Knows you.
she knows me. Kathleen Madigan. I love the way they say my name. It's so much better than Kathleen in the South. Oh, there's not two A's. Kathleen. Anyway, I go in and I, in the meantime, there's all these tour vans, golf tour vans showing up with like 8 guys, say from Detroit. They're in their 60s. This is their dream vacation.
Yep.
They are keeping the tee time. Every single man is putting on waterproof clothing. And then bizarrely enough, I saw a guy I knew from Detroit.
Really?
Yeah, he just rolled right out of one of the vans. I'm like, oh my God, I know him. This is crazy. But it's van after van after van of 90% men. Okay. So I go in and I say to Nora, I said, look, our tea time is in an hour, but I have a senior citizen with me. Right. I didn't tell Lewis I said that. Right. Because she goes, you're not going to give it a go. Like, why wouldn't you give it a go? I go, look outside, Nora. It's a hurricane. I mean, it's fun. Yeah. But so she's like, let me see. And I think on Fridays or Saturdays, it's like a mix of members and then public too. And she had to do a little puzzle. She goes, I'll propose this. Go have a nice Irish breakfast. Nice. Take a 1-hour nap and come back. So like a 2.5 hour. I said, that'd be great. Maybe it'll settle down. Maybe it won't. It could get worse. I don't know. So I got out the car and I just sat there, and Lou's like, what are we doing? Are we playing? And I just let him, I said, well, we had a nice conversation. He goes, how did it go? I wouldn't answer him right away. I wanted him to panic. And I said, we're not playing now. We're going to go do this. He goes, This is why I love vacationing with women. Because if I was in that van full of guys, I'd be called all kinds of names. And he went through a whole list of bad names that I will not repeat, but basically calling him a big scaredy cat. Yeah. And you won't go. And he said, I would have felt the peer pressure and I would have put on some stupid fucking water suit just so I didn't get made fun of. And I would have done it. I said, what is the moral of this story, Lou? Women are more sensible. Right. There's no reason to go out in that when there's a lovely pub that has an Irish breakfast with a Guinness. It's all available at one time.
It's like golfing in a car wash.
Yeah, I mean, you can't hold the club. No. But those tours, they've got it. Boom, 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 boom. We're going to these 5 golf, and you can't reschedule the trip. No. So it's either bail or do it. Yep. Or go in and be nice to Nora like I did. But the tour guide can't do that. He's got 8 guys. That's 2 tea times. Right. Of 2 foursomes.
How long are you going for?
I'm going for like 10 days.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. It takes 2 to get there. So, yeah. I mean, 1 and 1 travel date, blah, blah, blah.
Are you flying on Southwest?
I am. I'm going to take Southwest through, it goes to Omaha, go a little bit the wrong way, and then up to Minneapolis, and then up, we're going to stop right here in Ohio. Then we're going to go to Pennsylvania, then New York. Then we're going to stop in Greenland. A lot of people don't know the Southwest stops there. And then we're going to land in Shannon at the 2 gates that they've procured at the Shannon Airport. They did have talk one time about Southwest going international. I'm like, oh, my God.
They go to the Caribbean and Mexico.
Do they?
I think so.
Wow, I'll have to look that up.
I think so. I would never do it, but yeah.
All right, termites. In the words of Stevie, night-night, termites.